Relaxation in treatment. Hi everyone, March 9th, day number 68 of 365 Science of Mind. My name is Antonio Thornton, and I appreciate you so much for joining me on today's lesson of relaxation in treatment. And the quote for today is, "Be still and know that I am God." And that is from Psalms 46 and 10. Psalms 46, verse 10. And the text reads, "If we feel that our thought by our own will and through the power of concentration must go out somewhere in the invisible and compel things to happen, then we will put strain into our prayers or treatment." I love this lesson. This is one of the things we must avoid. Our prayers are spoken in faith, then released into the power of the law. Though the use of faith and belief in affirmative prayer, through the use of faith and belief in affirmative prayer, which we call spiritual mind treatment, something greater than ourselves acts upon us. If we had the same faith in spiritual laws that we have in physical ones, our faith would be complete and miracles would happen every day. As we turn to the divine center within us, then realizing the fullness of the activity of the living spirit is working through us, let us announce our good without effort or strain, and in a relaxed receptivity, let us know that the law of mind acts upon our word, not asking how or why, but with simple acceptance and complete belief, let us permit this good to be established in our own experience. So there are a few things that I want to really point out here. And it's from the very first passage that I read, or part of the passage. If we feel that our thought by our own will and through the power of concentration must go out somewhere in the invisible and compel things to happen, then we will put strain into our prayer or treatment. And that is one of the things that I think we do as human beings. If you think about wanting to go through a door and you turn the handle, pull the door, and it doesn't work or it doesn't open, you pull harder. You pull harder. You may even push, maybe I need to push, you might push it that way, but you pull harder. And sometimes pulling that door hard enough, yeah, it will open. I was visiting a friend of mine's house, and there was something wrong with the doors. The hinge, I think, was coming loose. So the door was at a slight angle, pressing against the frame. So you had to pull really hard to open the door. And what I ended up doing was when I was going through the door, she said, you gotta pull it really hard. So what I kind of did was, when I looked at the door, I saw that it was kind of at a slight angle leaning against the frame. So I kind of pulled it up a little, pulled it up on the handle, and the door came right open. It came right open. She goes, "Oh, wow. It's never done that before. Usually I have to pull." And that's kind of what this passage is talking about. It is talking about the idea of, if we feel that I have to think these thoughts and then boom, these thoughts have to go out and all this stuff has to happen, et cetera, et cetera. If we're feeling that, we're going to put strain into it. We're going to say, I really, really want that thing, whatever that thing is. I really want that relationship. I really want that car, that house, that whatever, that job. I really, really want that thing to happen. And that actually contradicts the general nature of the universe, which is that of peace and harmony and ease. So putting that strain behind your thoughts and prayer actually can be contradictory to your to what it is you desire for yourself. Just the belief in that those things have to be done from a brute force perspective. And that I feel is so powerful. And it says here, our prayers are spoken in faith, then released. Then released, which is one of the reasons why after the majority of our affirmations and meditations, we use the phrase, and so it is. That is such a powerful phrase, because what that is, it is a letting go with the knowledge, with the knowing that it is already done. Because think about that. Would you strain to open a door that was already opened? Would you strain to receive or manifest a thing that it is already manifest? No, you wouldn't. And that's what this is talking about. The faith, that undying, that never waning belief that a thing is already done. I'm gonna scroll back through here and read you a quote that I got that I read for March 1st, which was, and I talked about the theme for this month being that of faith. And the quote that I read was, and I'm probably going to refer to this multiple times throughout this month because it is so powerful. Faith is a mental attitude that is so convinced of its own idea, which so completely accepts it, that any contradiction is unthinkable and impossible. Let me read that last portion again. That any contradiction, and I'll read it and I'll skip it. It says, it's an attitude that's so convinced of its own ideas that any contradiction is unthinkable and impossible. And that is the level of faith that is required for us to create the things that we desire. That's why we say, and so it is. Because we are at that point, we are releasing the idea into the knowing that it is already done, and that anything, and get this now, anything that contradicts it is impossible. Wow. I mean, what a level of comfort, what a level of ease that comes from that simple knowing. And I will even take that into our application. Our practical application is in your prayers, in your desires, in your affirmations, whatever it is you desire for yourself, have a knowing, not just a belief, not a hoping or a wishing, but have a knowing that it is already done. There is no strain when something is already done. There's no strain because there's nothing to strain if it is already done. And with that knowing is what brings all the forces of the infinite, the divine intelligence in back of anything you do or anything you desire. And I'll read this portion here. If we had the same faith in spiritual laws that we have in physical ones, our faith would be complete and miracles would happen every day. Now, miracles do happen every day. We just don't recognize them. I mean, just the fact that a blade of grass can use photosynthesis to turn the sun's energy into food. That is an absolute miracle. To think about the fact that I'm talking right now, I'm thinking right now, without taking in consideration all of the hundreds of systems that are in my body performing at their peak performance without me giving any thought to it. I don't have to think about my heart beating. I don't have to think about my respiratory system. I don't have to think about my circulatory system. I don't have to think about my digestive system. I don't have to think about any of those things. I don't think about them. I don't have to think about them, and they're working perfectly. That's a miracle. As we turn to the divine, realizing the fullness of the activity of the living spirit is working through us, let us announce our good, putting it out, letting it go. And then without effort or strain and in a relaxed receptivity, let us know that the law of mind acts upon our word. We don't have to worry about that hows and the whys. We don't have to worry about that. But we know that when we speak our words into the infinite mind, that they are so from that moment forth. Nothing has to be done outside of that. Nothing. So let's go ahead and take this opportunity to move into our affirmation and meditation portion of today's episode. And as we always do, we take a deep breath in to get ourselves into a state of peace, state of harmony, state of receiving. And also, as I say these affirmations, I also welcome you to take them on for yourself. I say them in first person, and you are surely invited to receive whatever is there for you in these affirmations. And with that said, let's go ahead and take a deep breath in and hold it and let it go. Knowing that the divine presence has given me of its nature, I accept that everything of good is right where I am and is active in all of my affairs. Today, everything in my life comes under the control of God's intelligence. Everything is harmonized by it and unified with it. Consequently, my faith is complete. I know that I will be guided in everything I think, say, and do. I know that peace and joy and happiness will flow from me into everyone I meet. Today, everything in my experience is made glad, and joy goes before me, making every experience happy and radiant with life. And so it is. Thanks, as always, guys, for joining me on this journey. I am so appreciative and grateful for your presence. Your feedback is always welcome in the form of comments and shares and likes. That's great feedback for me as well. It lets me know I'm doing the right thing. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow on day number, March 10th, day number 69. Yeah, day number 69 of 365 Science of Mind. I look forward to seeing you then, guys. Take care.